Hello, I hope you're all doing amazing and wondering how y'all are feeling. The last couple of days have been challenging, but in a good way, at least from my perspective. I'm interested to hear about your perspective. It's kind of like a workout. The first couple of days, if you go at it pretty hard, it hurts. You are sore the next couple of days, but the key is to keep going, especially through the soreness, because you want to retrain your muscles. Well, your mind is the same way. Your mind has been programmed and conditioned to believe certain things as quote, quote, true or right or good or whatever label you want to give them. And the problem with that conditioning and that programming, when you get into that space, is you just limited yourself to believing that. That is that. And the last couple of days, I've really been battling this ego energy. And it's been fascinating to me because it literally is like a workout for me at this point. Like an opponent, like an enemy. It truly is an enemy to me because it's an attack energy. It's a defend its position energy. It's dead set in its belief system. It is, I know better than you. And then when it goes that route, then it gets into belittle and put you down. Some might call that the narcissistic energy. True. The root is what you guys would label as the egoic energy. But there's also different levels I've noticed of the ego energy. And I'll preface it this way. Like, I've been dealing the last couple of days getting prepared for my court case on Monday against my ex-husband, which this has been going on for almost a year now. But I'm stressed out a little bit, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to it because it's gotten to a point where I am absolutely calm and at peace with it and neutral. Because this experience has taught me to stand in truth, the truth, my truth, from both perspectives. Because the truth is the truth. When we get to court, and you have to understand my ex-husband's energy, he is part of the ego energy, but from an attack perspective. He is a pathological liar. He is very dangerous. He has done some pretty evil things, and he's very obsessive and very abusive. And neither myself or my kids feel safe in his presence because his energy is so bad. But dealing with him and, well, getting away from him was the key. Getting away from him and then getting back into my sense of self was the key, because he had entangled himself into me and I allowed him in. See, this is where you guys mess up when it comes to these type of energies. These are the extreme, okay? The extreme of the ego. This is the evil person. This is all the way to the evil. When you are a good person, a pure heart, a loving energy, if you are not 100% solid in your truth of I am, and it's not I am love still is in the polarity game. You will get beat by an energy like this narcissistic energy that I've dealt with. They will take advantage of that because they view that as weakness. You have to stand in truth and conviction of I am a child of God. I know who I am. From a place of confidence. I know what is true and what is real and what is right. That's what that situation taught me. That was the lesson there, to stand back in my truth and my knowing and reconnect to the truth. To know that I am God, I am one with God. He is not my God, which is what he did to me. He infiltrated my energy because he's very skilled at energy manipulation, control, tactics, and all that good stuff, and embedded himself into me to make me believe that he was my God. He was my savior. He was the one that I needed to follow. He knew more than me. But it was all trick. This is a trickster energy. And this is also a copycat energy or a mimic energy. And these energies are globs. They are like leeches. They leech onto you and then they suck you dry. They take from you. It's a taker energy. They take from you because at their core of their I am, there is nothing. They are godless. They have no sense of self or identity. Their sense of self is wrapped up into others that they have attached to. So that was the dynamic. And the beautiful thing about this experience for me was learning that energy, understanding how far that ego energy could go to, the lengths of it, and also understanding how to defeat it and or overcome it. Because once that energy infiltrated my energy, it then dumped and projected all of its insecurities and toxins into me and made me believe that its problems were my problems. And they never were. Because once I detached from him, once I started to reconnect with myself and also God, I started to realize just that was never my stuff. That wasn't my wound either. He took my kindness for weakness, my love, my compassion, my pure love as weakness, and he attacked. That attack is his responsibility. And I'm going to hold him accountable for that, because that energy that he tried to portray and push onto me, I did not warrant at all. Therefore, the balancing of the scales, the balancing of the energy, putting the energy where it belongs, the responsibility where it belongs, has been accomplished. And now as we're getting ready to go into court, I'm very confident and very secure that I am going to come out a winner. The reason I know this is, one, because of his last minute Hail Mary, here's my offer, which is about $18,000 less than what he owes me. And I said, absolutely not. I'll do better in court. Because I know going up against this individual that I am going to win, because I have the truth on my side. I have the evidence. The evidence is clear. It is in black and white. And that's what these energies can't stand. They can't take this. This is why I said they're going to become unstable in your life, because when you recognize the truth of who and what they are, you respect and honor that truth, and then you make moves accordingly based on that truth. You don't try to love this energy back to healing. Why? It doesn't have love for itself. It doesn't love itself. If it doesn't love itself, then how are you going to love it? You can't. It's like trying to tell a blind person what the color red looks like. They're not going to get it. The only way that he was going to have a chance at healing, well, both of us, was through this process. And his whole life is going to crumble because of it, because he's going to hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. Nobody bailed me out. Nobody. In my darkest moments, I had to go deep within myself and say, look at myself and say, hey, we have two choices. We're either going to die or we're going to pick our ass up. Which do you want to do? It's your choice. I've had many of those moments where I've had to do that. Sucked. And even in this situation, it sucks. I've lost everything. My job, my money, money from him, and I'm in dire straits. And it's tough, but I have faith because I know it's going to work out on my behalf because I stand in my truth. I stand in the truth. But you have to watch for these type of energies because they go on the attack because their belief system, because of their lack within themselves. And this triggered, I don't want to say it triggered me because it didn't trigger me, but it came to my attention about 3 days ago on my own channel. This is my channel. I post, whatever comes to my awareness in the moment that I need to, if I could get to it. And whoever gets the message, great. I'm not making any money off this, wasn't intended to be this way. But I found it interesting because there was a particular masculine who disagreed with a couple of the things that I had said on my videos, which I have no problem if you disagree with me. Because here's what I understand, that we all have our own personal truth, our own personal beliefs, and I honor and respect that. I am not going to downplay you or diss you for saying, hey, I disagree with you. Okay, you have a right to do that, no problem. There are many people I disagree with. I don't tell them that. I just say, unsubscribe, or I leave their channel, or I don't listen to them anymore. Because I have free will to do that. But this particular person, Bram Michaels is his name, he not only went on my channel and disagreed with me and wrote this big long message, but he also messaged me on the side to tell me why I was wrong and then started to belittle me for my position, my stance on my own channel. Which I responded back to him and said, I'm not sure why you want to explain yourself to me or why you think that I'm going to disagree with you for disagreeing with you. You're free to leave my channel. I don't understand why you're going this route. But it did open my eyes because I was like, this individual who says he's all about love, that was his thing. It's all about love. But yet you're disagreeing, which I have no problem with, again. But then you're going to go and sidestep and then attack me and belittle me. That's ego. That's a toxic ego. And so I disconnected from that energy. That's the same with my ex-husband. My ex-husband's probably a little farther on the spectrum, but those types of energies, you won't win. You won't win. They have got to learn on their own, which I have had to learn too. There's to get out of that toxicity and look at your own, look at your own beliefs, look at your own words, look at your own ideas, and start to ask yourself questions. Oh, sorry, I got the hiccups there. So that went into then my daughter and I getting into an argument about politics. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling the attack energy from masculine and now feminine, which are true. You are probably feeling attack energy, egoic energy, attack, and it needs to maintain its belief. It has to defend itself. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. And I was like, okay, why am I getting attack energy from both masculine and feminine, which you're going to get because there's, masculine and feminine in the universe too. That's balance. And I was like, oh, and I started going deeper into the ego energy. And the deeper I started going into the ego energy, the more interesting it started to get for me. My electricity went out 3 times, which was totally fun. I've had definitely feeling the energetic attacks. And when I say attacks, a couple of things are happening. One, just negative energy coming my way. That could be in the form of thoughts, emotions. Sometimes it's spells and hexes. It just depends. I'm looking at the energy, seeing what's coming in. And then one instance I had last night, which just blew me away, was I heard this, I'm in dream state, and I heard this woman's voice clear as day. Absolutely clear as day, just like I'm talking to you. I cannot remember for the life of me what she said. I wish I would have written it down at this point, but I totally don't remember. But it was the way it made me feel. This energy, I could feel it in my bones. And I was like, ooh, that's exciting. Except the energy that I was feeling was fear. It was trying to put me in fear. And it was from a feminine voice. And I won't tell you who it's from yet, because I understand now my next steps. And I want to wait until I get to that point before I release that. But the ego, especially if it is strong enough and skilled enough in the energy realm, this is what my ex-husband did and others did. They will attack you in your sleep. They will come at you in your sleep, in the astral realm, the feeling. That's why I felt it. Because it knows you're vulnerable at that state. So this is what the ego does when it knows at the last minute, the Hail Mary, oh shit, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose. Yep, you sure are. You absolutely sure are. You fake energies, you narcissistic energies, you evil energies, those energies that have been living absolute lies and are miserable and are evil people and do evil things to others, yeah, those energies collapse. They're all about to collapse. Masculine and feminines. Masculines went first, femmes are on their way. Their whole worlds are going to collapse. Everything. It has to. Otherwise, there will never be a change. Those of us that have pure hearts and do the right thing and try to help others the right way, we will constantly be like this with that energy. Constantly. You ever negotiated with a pathological liar? That's fun. It's so funny. Sorry, a little sidebar here. We did like an interrogation portion for this court case where it was a question and then you had to deny it or affirm it. And there were questions in there where my ex-husband actually said that he denied it, and then he said, well, actually I did do it, but but that's where you have to take this. That's actually, it's funny, but it's true. You have to break down their paradigm. Their paradigm is lies. It's illusion. Fake. My ex-husband lives in a fake reality where he feeds off of other people to keep that reality going. And now every single person that he knows is gone. Therefore, he has no energy to maintain that reality. Therefore, that reality is crashing. Not my fault, not my kid's fault, not his ex-wife, well, his soon-to-be ex-wife's fault, not her kids. No, it's him. He did those things. Teal, Swan is going to go through the same thing. All these people that she's been feeding off of and connecting to and pretending that she is your savior and helping you and healing you and doing the right thing. Nope. Collapse. There's going to be so many people, big time, big wig people that this is going to happen to. And it needs to. It has to. That is the egoic energy. That is the extreme that keeps people stuck in this negative illusion of bullshit. And it literally goes on the attack and hurts people. That's the energy that is in the current state being dissolved in the material plane. And part of that reason for it being dissolved is because you and me, which we're standing up to these energies and taking our energy back, being at peace with it, standing in truth and saying, yeah, no, that's not what happened. Here you go. No, that's not what happened. Here you go. You don't argue with them. You have to treat them like nothing. Like you do not care, and you shouldn't care, because the minute you have a reaction, you're roped right back in. That's why love won't work. Love and empathy for these individuals will not work. You go that route, they're going to hook you right back in. They're going to be like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I know I need to change. Can you help me? No. No, I cannot. Because when I was in the pits where you left me, because you did that to me, you didn't help me one bit. In fact, you did the opposite to me. So, no, I'm going to allow you to walk your path. I'm going to allow you to sit in your energy. That's right for you. I'm going to completely disconnect and let you be you. And good luck. But I also noticed going through this process a different side of, I guess, ego energy, if you will. Because this ego that I was talking about, the others like Teal and my ex-husband, they are godless. They are mean, evil, bad, really bad people. But this other energy, which I found was more my soulmate energy or twin flame, and I don't really like those terms, and I'll explain why here in just a second. But this energy, okay, so this energy, the negative, really bad energy, doesn't go away. It continues to fight. It continues to attack. It continues to try to latch on to you. It clings on for life. Why? Because it needs you to survive. You know what I did with it? I said, yeah, I'm not fighting you anymore. This is boring, stupid. I let go of the rope, the tug of war. Oh, cling. I was like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. Peace out. The minute I did that, it was like, oh shit. She's not fighting. She's not protecting. She's not defending herself. Uh-oh. Now what do? We don't have anything to latch onto. That's what you do with those energies. That's where you have to get. And that's a process. And if you need help with that, email me. Be happy to help you. But this other energy, which has done some really bad things, not very happy with him, bad boy. The difference is he loves me. Like when I look at the root, like if I look into this energy, even though on the outside it's like the yin and the yang, he is all dark on the outside with a little dot of light. And if I go into that light, I realize, wait a minute. Yeah, you're a really bad boy. You've done some really shitty things, and you'll have to pay for those. But you love. You try to hide that, but you love. This one doesn't love. These are two totally different energies. This one is salvageable. these energies, probably not going to make it. Just saying. I do wish I wish them the best though. I'm not going to count anybody out. Hey, you do you, boo. But I got down to this one's level and I was like, wait a minute. If you love me as bad as you are, and you are the devil, oh yeah, what happened? And literally last night, I went into that and it reminded me of this video I think I saw it on Facebook of this little kitten. God, I'm gonna cry. Been severely abused, and it was on the defense. Like, get away from me, don't touch me, because it was so scared. And this other mama cat kept coming in, would kind of get near it and stop, and then it would leave, and then it would do it again, and then it would stop, and then it would go in there and it would just lay, and this little kitten's like attacking, and it would just lay there, calm, just calm, peace, still. And eventually the little baby kitty was like, wait a minute, you're not gonna hurt me. Okay. I didn't understand his point of view until just recently. Why is he like this on the outside? I understand that, because he's had to defend himself and he's angry. And so I understood. And I told him I was sorry for my part. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I'm sorry for hurting you. Yes, I am one with God. God is in me. God works through me. But you are my partner here. And in order for us to solve this, we're going to have to work this out. That's why I'm sitting right now, my bigger self is just sitting there with him, letting him go the fuck off and rage and do all his crazy shit, and focusing on that little dot. There's love in there. I had to go through this. When I was at the end, there was this really tiny seed in me. And this is my greater self, and I'm just staring at this little tiny light. Everything around me is dark. Everyone and everything is just constant attacks. Constant. But if I could just focus on this one little light, there's hope. There's hope there. There's hope that maybe this light, this love, this pure love can grow. And once I started focusing and making it bigger and bigger and bigger, I was able to heal myself and get rid of that and now push out all these other negative energies. Okay, if I can do that for myself, I can certainly do that for you. I'm not giving up on you. Sympathy for the devil? Yes. It's not an empty shell energy. These are two different. I hope you can see the difference. This one, there's hope. So I'm healing him. We're literally sitting there. I'm going through the same process with him that I went through myself. And it was told to me, and I took this on. This was, and maybe you have too. And I said, who heals the worst of the worst? Who goes into the mind of a killer, a sociopath, a psycho, a murderer, a rapist, a pedophile? Who? Nobody. You brush them aside and go, put them in jail, do this. If you don't understand their mental, you don't understand their thinking and why and where it came from, it will never get solved. It will continue. They will continue to be predators. I'm going to help him. No matter what. I'm actually going to help them both. Because if we're going to live or exist in a new way, a new earth, which what is that? It's not division and hey, let's just fucking fight each other and throw each other aside. No. You have to get down in the dumps, in the ditch with them. And I miss that. When I go back to God, I get into this blissful fucking state and I'm like, well, everything's great, everything's wonderful. What the fuck's wrong with all you people? And it's a beautiful state to be in. Being right there with God. Oh my God, it's like being a kid. But this energy and this energy, they don't understand. Because they're so down. And who helps them? Who gets down there with them? But who can help them change? They take different ways. This one, it has to learn on its own. You have to pull yourself away from it. It's a leech. This one, when I told him, get out of my space, he said, okay. This one, when I told him to get out of my space, he said, no, fuck you. I had to handle these energies totally differently, and you will too. I believe, I see, I know there is hope. There is a future where these energies will be back in balance. And understand that they too can reconnect to Source, to God, to understand and bring that energy here. And live from a perspective of unconditional love. Which has no boundaries and no limits. That's unconditional love. It's understanding that, okay, the worst of the worst, we can do this. There's gotta be a way. This is not your surface level human love. And most of you are not going to be able to do this, and that's okay. But if you can, go there. But if you can't, don't. This is my disclaimer. Do not get into their minds. Do not get into their energy. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I just want to live in a universe where we respect each other. We respect each other's beliefs. We respect each other's opinions. We respect each other's universes. We respect each other's creations. And we understand what it means. And then we also understand what it means to truly love. I don't know where you guys are at. I don't know if you're even feeling this, but this is going to create a huge shift. Because the mind, the two minds that created this universe, a feminine and a masculine, they got twisted and fucked up because their belief systems, and then they became very polarized, are now sitting together in solitude, understanding. They're not fighting. They're understanding each other's perspective. And they're saying, you know what, I fucked up, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, I love you. What a journey. Thank you all. I love you all. I want only the best for everybody, no matter where you are. And I'm sorry for my own shortcomings. I, too, am growing and expanding. I made mistakes. And I'm willing to admit that. And look at myself and say, you know what? You're right. I was wrong and I'm sorry. Please forgive me because I love you. Okay, I hope you have a great day. I love you.